Hello my sweet potatoes, it is Michelle and today I'm going to show you what I packed for 1 week in Hokkaido. So I just came back from a trip to Hokkaido, Japan, and I went with a bunch of my friends and Kyle, of course, and we went for a snow trip. So we all went snowboarding and skiing in Niseko. Niseko is popular for their snow/ski resorts, so we did 4 days of skiing or snowboarding. I chose to ski, and this was my first time ever being in snow, ever seeing snow, ever skiing. I've snowboarded once before, in 2015 at Big Bear in California. So because I already snowboarded once, I wanted to try skiing. Like I said, it was my first time being in snow, being in below freezing weather as well. So I was a little unsure on what to pack, but today I want to share everything that I did pack and give some tips and things that I learned, what I wish I brought, what I wish I didn't bring, so hopefully it can help somebody else out. So I brought 3 main bags with me into the airport. I brought my carry-on bag, my little personal item, and my check-in suitcase. So Kyle and I flew from San Francisco to Narita in Tokyo, and then from there we flew into Hokkaido. So let me first show you what I packed in my carry-on. This is the carry-on that I brought. It's just a tote bag. I liked it because it was also waterproof, or not waterproof, but it's water resistant. And I knew that we would potentially be in falling snow, and I've never been in snow before, so I was like, is snow wet? Is it gonna get my stuff wet? So I just wanted to make sure my stuff stayed nice and dry. So inside I have a lot of stuff, so let's go through all of it. The first thing at the very top here is my camera bag. So on this trip I actually had to bring 2 cameras, which is why I needed to bring this camera case. Typically I'll only bring 1 camera, but I needed to bring 2 because I'm actually working with Nikon and they sent me their Z30 camera to try out, and this video is actually also sponsored by Nikon, so thank you so much to Nikon for sponsoring today's video. If you're looking for a good travel vlog camera, this would be perfect for you. I'm actually using it to film this video right now, so that's why they gave me 2. One of them is for me to actually use and keep, and the other one is for me to shoot behind the scenes content. But like I was saying, if you're looking for a good travel vlog camera, get the Z30 because it is so small and lightweight. This camera was made for content creators. It shoots in 4K video. It takes super crisp and clear photos. So I actually got the creator kit, and the lens that it comes with is a 16 to 50 millimeter lens, and it's amazing because the 16 millimeter allows you to capture really wide angle shots like this, or you can zoom in really close and get really nice close tight shots on this. So it's a really versatile lens. The kit also comes with this tripod grip, so it is like a handle, so you can attach it to the camera like this, just screw it in, and it gives you a nice grip on the camera, or you can pop the legs out like this and it'll act as a tripod. It also comes with a Bluetooth remote control, so if you need, you can just prop your camera up somewhere, walk away from it, and control the camera remotely with this remote. And the other amazing thing that I loved about this is that you can actually charge this camera with a portable charger. So it does have your usual, battery pack like this, but in order to charge the camera, you actually have to plug it in. This is the charging cord that it comes with, and then you can take any portable charger that you have. This is my travel portable charger. This thing is very big. It's 26,800 milliamp. I think there's 7 full phone charges worth of battery in here. So I'll just take my charger, plug it in, see the blue lights, it's on, and it charges the camera. So when I'm out and about and I'm on the go, which when I travel, I'm out all day, it's so handy and so convenient. You don't have to go back to the hotel room and charge the battery with a wall outlet. You don't need to buy a bunch of other separate battery packs. So this is a beautiful camera. I have been loving using this. I've been filming a lot of my short form content on this as well because it makes it so much easier because the screen flips out. I can see myself. It's also touchscreen. So if you're also a content creator and you're looking to upgrade your camera gear, or if you're looking for a good travel vlog camera, or you just want a camera that does it all, get the Nikon Z30. I will leave it linked below in the description box, and thank you again to Nikon for sponsoring this video. Now moving on, let's talk a bit more about what other tech gear that I have. Like I said, I carry around my portable charger, charging cables for my phone. This one is like a 10-foot cord for in the hotel, and this one is a shorter one, but it has this coil mechanism so that I can keep things more organized in my bag, and this one I carry around with me for on the go. And then I have a hard drive in case I need to transfer photos or videos from my camera or my phone, like free up space on those. And then I also have this little contraption, which is basically a phone holder, but it's meant to use on airplanes. So you can like attach it to the tray table, and then you can slip your phone inside and it'll just like hold your phone up on the seat so you can watch videos. I actually didn't even use this on this trip, but I bring it with me just in case. It's pretty small and doesn't take up much room anyway. Next up is a leg hammock. I cannot travel, especially long distances now, without this, and our flight from San Francisco to Narita was 11 hours, which is a long time. So I definitely put this to use. You just strap this top part over the tray table and you like lock the tray table back in place, and it'll hold the leg hammock in place. Then you can just put your legs right in here, and it just makes the plane ride so much more comfortable, especially if you're trying to sleep. For me at least, when I sleep, I want to prop my legs up a little, because keeping my legs down on the seat for a really long time is just really uncomfortable. My legs start to go numb after a while, so I like to keep them a little more propped up, and this definitely helps me do that. I will say though, if you're on the taller side, you will probably not get any use out of this. I'm 5'1", so I'm pretty short. I love it, but like Kyle, for instance, is 6'3". Like, he's extra tall though, so he's like, he has his own issues being that tall on an airplane. But anyway, if you're like on the shorter side and you also like to prop your legs up when you sleep, try looking into a leg hammock. I also have my neck pillow. This is an inflatable neck pillow, so you can see that it's nice and thin, so it's much easier to pack. But once I'm on the plane and I actually want to use it, I can just blow it up through this hole here. I also have an eye mask, also for the plane or even in the hotel room. But yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory. I also brought a water bottle. I always just bring my own water bottle. A lot of times in Japan though, since they have so many like vending machines and just like cool drinks to try, I like don't even end up using this. But I don't know, it's like my emotional support water bottle, so I just like to bring it with me everywhere I go. Next up, I also brought my laptop. So this is my laptop case. This is my laptop, and of course I also brought my laptop charger. I always bring my laptop on trips because of my job, but if you don't need to do that, then definitely just leave it at home. And then I have this little zippered pouch. This carries a bunch of just like health necessities. Like I have a little pill case, I have some hand sanitizer, a tissue pack, a pen, a whole bunch of band-aids. So this is like my emergency health type of pouch. I also have another pouch which has a lot more like anti-motion sickness types of remedies. So I have these like wristbands. They apply pressure on a certain pressure point, and that's supposed to help get rid of motion sickness. I also have ginger candy, nausea medication, anti-motion sickness goggles. These look so ridiculous, but they really work, especially if you get motion sick in moving vehicles, cars, buses. Like that's when I get the most motion sick. Also on boats, but I didn't go on a boat this trip. I've also never tried this on a boat, so I can't vouch for that. I have used this in a car, and when I'm like on my phone reading stuff, texting, emailing, I can't look at my phone for very long or else I'll start to get car sick. But with these goggles, I can use my phone and I'm perfectly fine. And that's because the blue liquid in here, see how it moves? When you're in a moving vehicle, it's like moving around and stuff, but the blue liquid moves with the motion of the vehicle, and that helps to trick your brain into thinking that the horizon is level at all times, even though it's not, because you're like moving around. But as you move, the liquid also moves, so it like balances things out, and that just helps eliminate the motion sickness. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but that's how I interpreted it when I looked it up. So on buses, cars, trains, I have used this and they have worked. I can't travel without these anymore, and I actually did use this on this trip as well. We took a bus from Niseko to Nuchitose Airport, and I think that whole journey was like 3 hours-ish, and I didn't sleep. I was like on my phone most of the time, but I used these and I did not get motion sick a single bit. So if you also get easily motion sick, get one of these. I cannot travel without these. Next up, I have this Ziploc bag, which just has a bunch of extra clothing. So I have an extra pair of leggings, an extra long sleeve top, extra socks, and extra underwear. You never know what's gonna happen, so good to just have an extra set on hand. I also have a wallet. This is an extra wallet that I bring only when I travel, but it has a lot more slots and it's full width too, so I don't need to fold my bills up. I can just lay them completely flat. So I have a bunch of yen in here, and it also has a zippered pouch, so I put all of my coin yen in the zippered part. And lastly, I have some hand wipes. I think it's just always a good idea to carry hand wipes with you wherever you go, especially when you travel. Disinfect your hands, disinfect your surroundings in the plane, the hotel, wherever you are. So I always keep a pack of these on hand. So that's everything in this carry-on. Now onto my smaller bag. I usually wear this one as a crossbody like this, and this bag just holds more essential airport/airplane things that I want easier access to, so that I don't have to go digging in my bigger bag. So for example, I keep my passport in here, my wallet, a smaller portable charger, and I would actually keep this coiled up phone cord in this bag. I think I just misplaced it in the plastic bag earlier. Earphones. This one is wireless, but this one is wired because on the airplane I like to use wired earphones. That way if I fall asleep, I don't need to worry about my wireless ones accidentally falling out of my ear. Then like what if I lose it? So I just like to use wired ones. I also have this splitter, and you plug it into your phone and it lets you charge and listen to music at the same time. So this is only really useful if you use wired earphones. So I really only use this on the plane, but you can plug it into your phone, and on one side you can plug in your earphones, and on the other side you can plug in your charger. And now you can charge your phone and listen to music, because without this splitter, since my phone has no separate headphone jack, I would only be able to either charge or listen to music. I can't do both at the same time. But this little splitter now makes it possible, and I definitely use this on this trip. And then I also have more tissues, cortisone cream for my eczema, and lip balm. I also carry my inhaler in this little pouch, and the last thing I have in here is a handkerchief. This is so useful, especially if you're going to Japan, because Japan bathrooms don't have paper towels or even hand dryers, so everyone in Japan just carries their own handkerchief and uses that to wipe their hands. So that's it for my personal item, and now we can finally move on to my check-in luggage. And on the very top there are these two like removable sections. I usually just keep my like undergarments in one, so like bras, socks, underwear, and the other one I just have extra reusable bags. So we'll start on the left side. This is the side that held all of my clothes. So for this trip I decided to get these like vacuum seal bags, just because I knew I was gonna bring a lot of like bulky winter clothes, like puffer jackets, things that are typically more like bulky and puffy. So I was like, oh, let me try one of these like vacuum seal bags. That way I can kind of condense everything down. But honestly, I could have gone away with not using one of these and still had enough room. But I had already bought them and like taken them out and tested them and stuff, so I was like, I'll use them anyway. And I didn't even bring that many like puffy or like bulky winter items, so I really didn't need to use them for this trip. But I think if you are gonna bring a lot of those like thicker, heavier materials, then this will be great at saving space in your suitcase. It's also great because it comes with a pump, so there's a little spot here where the pump goes into, then you can pump all of the air out. That way you don't need to use an actual vacuum, and the pump is pretty small too, so you can just throw it in your suitcase. So I used two of these for this trip. I used this smaller one, which carried all of my tops, and this medium-sized one that carried all of my bottom. And it packed down really thin, so yeah, the space saving is incredible with these. But for my outfits, I didn't really put much thought or effort into them because I knew I would be wearing basically the same thing every day, since we're just gonna go like skiing and snowboarding every day. Also, I knew it was gonna be cold as fuck, so I didn't even care if I looked that cute. I just want it to be warm. But usually when I travel, I will like plan out every single outfit for every single day, every single activity. Like I'm kind of crazy when it comes to outfit planning. But for this trip, I just knew I needed a lot of basics that I could layer. So I brought a bunch of tank tops, a bunch of long sleeve shirts, and a bunch of thermal like underlayers that will keep me warm. And then for my bottoms, I again just needed layerable bottoms as well. This like maroon colored thing here is my ski bib. So when I was thinking about what type of clothing I would need for skiing, I learned that you can either get pants, just regular snow pants, or you can get like a bib, basically like overalls. And I was like, you know, I think I'm gonna go with the overalls because if you fall and you're wearing pants, depending on how you fall, you might get snow in your pants, and that just sounded so uncomfortable to me. Like I did not want to deal with that. And getting a bib, since it like covers more area, it like goes up your back too, you just have a lot more coverage and there's a less chance of snow getting in your pants. So I went with the bib. Other than that, I just have 2 trousers, some leggings, and thermal leggings, as well as 1 pair of leggings that is lined with fleece on the inside. And then I also packed a skirt, just 1 skirt, because I knew I wanted to take some cute photos in the snow. So that outfit I did plan for, and that's why I brought the skirt. But yeah, other than that photo, I didn't wear this skirt at all. So when I actually went out skiing, I would wear 1 pair of my thin thermal leggings. Then on top of that, I wore the fleece lined leggings, and then I put my bib on over that. And for my top, I wore a thermal tank top, a regular tank top, a thermal long sleeve, a regular long sleeve, then I zipped up my bib over that, and then I wore my puffer jacket on top of all of that, which sounds excessive, but it kept me very warm. And it was actually too warm on some of the days, because I think on some of the days it was like 40 or 50 degrees, so all of that was definitely too warm. I think on those days I maybe only wore like half the layers, so maybe like just 1 pair of leggings and like a tank top, a heat tech long sleeve, a regular long sleeve, and my puffy jacket. And this jacket I didn't include in my packing because this is a jacket that I wore throughout like the entire trip. Like this is the only jacket that I brought, and I wore it the entire trip, even when I went skiing. And then at the very top of my suitcase, I packed some extra clothes so that once I got off of the airplane and we landed in Hokkaido, I knew it was gonna be really, really cold. So once we got off the plane, but before we left the airport, I wanted to keep some extra clothes that I could put on to give me a little more warmth. So for that, I have a beanie, my wool gloves, an extra pair of pants, and a fleece-lined sweatshirt. Because on the airplane, I dressed pretty light. I wore this jacket with a tank top, leggings, and my boots, and with socks under my boots, of course. So that was literally all I wore onto the plane, but I knew that if I had only stayed in that and then gone out into the freezing cold Sapporo weather, I would literally turn into a popsicle. So I kept some extra clothes at the top of my suitcase just so I could easily access them once we landed, and then just throw all of those on before we headed out into the snow. Oh, I also brought a rain jacket. This is a pocketable rain jacket. I also brought a big scarf, and then I was good to go. I learned that it's best to make sure like your top half is warm instead of like your legs, because you want to keep your core as warm as possible. That's gonna help the rest of your body feel warmer too. Also your head, because I think you also lose a lot of heat from your head. I mean, you should still layer up on your legs too, but core and head I think are the priority parts. I do want to briefly talk about socks, because I think socks are also important. I got a pack of these really thick, fuzzy, fleece-lined socks, and good, warm socks that are gonna keep your toes warm are also so important. These boots were also great. Like they kept my feet super dry, like no water or snow or anything got into my boots. But there was one day where I was wearing like regular thickness socks, and my toes, I swear, were like frostbitten. That's dramatic, but it was extremely cold, and I realized I wasn't wearing the right type of socks. So just because your boots are good at keeping your feet dry doesn't mean it'll keep them warm. So having a good pair of thick, warm socks is absolutely essential. And then on the right side of my suitcase, I have more like toiletries and other like accessories. So for snowboarding, I bought a bunch of gear. So I got these gloves. I call these my Thanos gloves because they're so thick and they look like his gauntlet, but they're really good at keeping my hands warm and they kept my hands nice and dry. And they also have a little zipper on the side here, which is where I kept my lift pass. And this is the pass that you need to take the lift up the mountain. So this was so handy. You can just like boop, scan it right there, and then you can go right through. These gloves did break though. Like there's a little part at the end here that's supposed to help tighten the drawstring around your wrist. That way snow doesn't get in, but it broke, so I wouldn't really recommend these gloves. But I do think it's essential to have like a good pair of ski gloves that are gonna keep your hands warm. Then I also bought wrist guards. These are obviously just for like safety reasons. This was my first time skiing, so I was like, you know, an injury is definitely very possible. I also didn't take any lessons. Like I just watched a bunch of YouTube videos, YouTube tutorials on how to ski, tips on how to ski, and I actually did really well for not having any lessons. My friends were telling me like, wow, you're a really fast learner. But yeah, I was actually surprised at myself on how easy I was able to pick up skiing, and I wasn't like scared or anything to do it either. I think fear can also like hold people back, but I was like, let's just do it. But yeah, like honestly, by the end of the first day, I was like zooming. I was like having a blast. So you just slip them on like this, and you just tighten it around your wrist like that. And it's supposed to help any wrist injuries if you fall. So I would put the wrist guard on and then shove my hand in the glove. But it looks pretty silly because my hand looks so large. But it also made it really difficult to grip the poles, like the ski poles. It was just hard to grip things, you know? So I remember my hands, especially like this area, was really tired at the end of the day because I was like trying to grip so hard and use so much force to grip onto the poles because I just didn't have a good grip with all of the gear on. So by the end of the day, my hands started hurting really badly. But I did wear my wrist guards, but only for like the first day. So I will admit that I did not wear these for like the other 3 days. Luckily, I didn't have any major falls and my wrists were fine. I didn't have any injuries, but I think I just got lucky, and not everyone is gonna be lucky like that. So do as I say, not as I do, and wear your protective gear. I do not want to be held liable for any potential injuries that you may have in your snow sports. Thank you. And then I also brought ski goggles. It's really cute. It's got like a pink band and like a reflective orange gradient in the front. But then for the helmet and like the actual skis and poles, we rented those from one of the rental shops nearby in Niseko. So yeah, when it comes to like if you should rent or buy, it really just depends on you. Like I ended up buying this stuff because I figured I might go snowboarding or skiing again in the future. Like I probably will. So it was honestly cheaper for me to just buy my own because renting is really expensive. The only things I rented was a helmet and the skis and poles. But if I were to also have rented like a jacket, pants, goggles, all of these other things, I would have paid probably like double compared to what I paid just buying my own. So it was just financially better for me to just buy my own. So that's it for all the like ski/snow necessary items. Oh, actually I also did buy these earmuffs. Is this not just so adorable? I just feel like a little snow bunny with these. But again, I brought these specifically for photos, to take photos in. Yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit that. But while I was taking photos, they did keep my ears very warm, so I will say that. Next up, I have all of my skincare in this adorable little pouch. Inside I have glasses, a hairbrush, claw clip, petroleum jelly, snail mucin essence, daily rescue facial spray. This is great for calming sensitive skin. When I travel, my skin tends to go kind of crazy, so I love anything that's calming and soothing. Daily barrier recovery cream, which is also my moisturizer, and I have sheer mineral sunscreen SPF 30. And then I also have some things that I like to keep on my bedside table at night. So again, I have my inhaler, hydrocortisone cream, and hand cream. Then I have this little baggie with all of my like bathroom essentials. So in here I have my oil cleanser, and I keep it in another plastic bag because sometimes it leaks. Then I have my foaming face wash in here, bottles of my shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. I have a waterproof makeup remover, deodorant, and toothpaste. This little plastic bag has more health things. So my contacts, I use daily contacts. This carries a bunch of pimple patches, razor, dry shampoo, floss picks, and cotton rounds, and my toothbrush holder. I use an electronic toothbrush, so I like to use this case for it. Then I have my makeup pouch. I actually didn't even do my makeup. I think I only did it maybe on one day, like the one day that I wanted to take photos. That's the only day that I used any of my makeup. All the other days I just went completely barefaced. Like I'm gonna be under like a helmet and goggles and like a mask anyway, but I brought it just in case. I just have a skin tint, a lip tint, eyeliner, eyebrow pencil, mascara. I did bring lashes as well as lash glue, tweezers, a lash curler, blush, cream contour, a mirror, hairpins to move my bangs out of the way, and a makeup sponge. And that's it. That's all I do for my makeup routine anyway. Like that's all that I use today as well. This little pouch carries all of my nail supplies because I do like to use press-ons, and I wasn't sure if they would last through all the skiing that I was doing, but they did. So in case one of them popped off while I was on the trip, then I have all of my supplies here. So I have my extra nails here, and I have nail glue, a nail drill, nail file, nail clipper, and cuticle pushers. And in this little pouch is where I keep all of my hair supplies. So I have this random container. I don't know where this container is from, but I just keep all of my little tiny hair elastics in here. I did braid my hair in like 2 French braids on the first day, so I did use these. Then I have a scrunchie, a hairband, and then I have a bunch of hair ribbons. Like this is excessive. I did bring all of these on the trip, but I didn't use any of these. But like this is the pouch that I use normally to just like store all of my hair supplies, so that's why I kind of just like kept all of these in here and just brought everything with me. I was too lazy to like take all of them out. Plus, like if I did want to put a bow in my hair, then at least I have options. And then I also have some bobby pins. So next I have my jewelry case. So in the top here I have some necklaces and a bracelet. And down here I have a couple more bracelets and earrings. And again, I actually did not end up using any of these. I think the only time I wore jewelry was on the last day when I was taking photos, and I think I wore these earrings that I'm wearing right now, these bow earrings. Yeah, I didn't wear any of my jewelry any other day, but I thought like, oh, if we go out for dinner or something and I want to look cute, then maybe I'll throw on some jewelry. But we didn't even do that. We just stayed home and cooked at home every single night. So yeah, I definitely didn't need to bring this. All of the jewelry that is in here though is from my own small business. I have a small jewelry business making handmade jewelry. There's a lot of like beaded flower bracelets and necklaces and things like that. So if you didn't know about it already, I made a video about it. Check it out, and I'll also leave it linked below in the description box. Next up, I also brought 2 sunglasses. I knew it would be kind of sunny on some days, so I wasn't sure if my goggles would be enough to like block the sun. So just in case, I brought some extra sunglasses. So one pair is non-prescription polarized sunglasses, and the other is a prescription pair of polarized sunglasses. So it just depended on whether I wanted to wear contacts or not. And I actually did not end up wearing contacts on 3 of the 4 days. I think the first day I did wear contacts, but my eyes were so tired and dry by the end of it that they were just really irritated. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wear my glasses underneath my goggles, and it worked out perfectly fine. Then I also brought a hair curler because, again, for photos. Japan is also great because they use the same type of outlet that we do in America, so I didn't need an adapter or anything. And then I also brought an extra tote bag. So this is the bag that I use day to day once we were in Niseko. So I brought this to the ski resort, or like if we went out walking around in the town to like pick up groceries or something, this is the bag that I would bring. And finally, the last item in my suitcase is this luggage scale, and I think it's so important to carry one of these because different airlines have different weight restrictions, and also if you're like buying things like souvenirs, that's gonna add more weight to your luggage, so you gotta make sure that your luggage is not gonna go over the weight limit. So that is everything that I brought with me on my snow trip to Hokkaido, Japan for a week. If you've also never been in the snow before like me, hopefully some of these tips helped. If you have any questions about my experience or what I packed in things, leave them in the comments below. And thank you again to Nikon for sponsoring today's video. Check out the Nikon Z30. I will link it in the description box, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!